Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Look at this. Watching the sunrise. It's probably where the sun's sitting now. It's probably about 8 o'clock. When I came out here, it was about 6:45. It was somewhere right in that area, right underneath that tree line. But it's been nice. A couple cups of coffee, and we're good to go. Purpose of the video. Last night I was just reading on the internet, just different things, and some garden stuff popped up, and then I seen this one article that talked about, can't remember it was at, I think it was on Yahoo, or anyway, an article somewhere I caught. It talked about building above ground garden beds, what not to use, and I got a little list to keep me going, straight line, so I don't get confused. But what it did say was, it said the number one top hitters do not use is telephone poles and railroad ties, no matter how old they are. And this I know, I've got telephone poles because they're soaked in creosote, and that stuff doesn't disappear. It stays in the wood forever. It's not, even though it's dry, it's there. One of the best ways to tell is just cut one of them things in half and see if you still smell it. It is inside the log, or in the log, which is railroad tie or telephone pole. It is in there, the chemicals. You do not want that leaching out into your garden at all anyway. So you should know, definitely that's no. They said number one. Number twos are treated lumbers. Pressure treated and all them. I know they've got new lumbers. They say it's supposed to be friendly. How do we know it's really friendly? It's just, you got to use your brains. You don't want to use it. So pressure treated was on the list as no also. But I am saying I know it's pressure treated that they say it's friendly. I just disagree. So to me, it's going to be telephone poles, railroad ties, treated lumbers are off the limits. Another thing is, they didn't say this, but I know I did a video not long ago about pallet wood. A lot of people build pallets, gardens out of pallets above ground, and they're great. You can get pallets free all day long. I got a stack out back right now. They're good. They're good pallets. But you have to be careful. Here's the big thing. Pallet wood is sprayed and soaked, because a lot of pallets come from overseas, or they're made to go overseas, so they've got to make them so they don't rot. Well, to determine if your pallet wood has these chemicals in it, this is how I did, and I seen a video on it on YouTube. I think it's where I seen it the first time. And it was, they would say take a piece of the pallet wood off, and or find a junk piece of that pallet wood, same type pallet wood, and start a fire. Put the pallet wood on top of the fire and let it burn. Let it really burn. And what you're looking for is along the edge of where the fire is on the pallet wood. You burn from one end over the other. Is you're going to want to watch that ring where the fire is. If that fire in that wood right on that edge line is bubbling, gurgling, really bellowing black smoke, you got chemicals you don't even want to inhale. You definitely don't want to put that in the garden. And there is probably 3/4 pallets that are treated with some kind of chemical so it doesn't rot. You don't want that in your garden. Think about it. You don't want it in your garden. If you're going to burn a piece of wood, or piece of pallet wood, it's not going to sit there and smolder and bubble. You want the clean burn. That's what you want to use in your garden. A lot of oak pallet wood are like that, are good wood to use. Now I have found some other ones that are not, but of course you don't get those chemicals, it rots, and I understand that, but you don't want that stuff in your food that you're growing. Okay, the one that really shocked me that I didn't know, they say some do and some don't. Cedar that you buy from the stores, some of the cedars that you buy are treated with a chemical. I never knew that. I always thought it was just plain good cedar to have and you can use it. They said you got to do your research on it. Each board had a tag. You look up what it says, and it won't. You have to, it's not on a tag, but you got to research the tag, the company, and see if they really put those chemicals into the wood. I didn't know that. I honestly thought if you bought cedar from the store, it was good. And they do say it is true that there is some places that do that. But what they did say to do, and I'm saying like here in Oklahoma, is we have a lot of cedar trees out in our woods. A lot of them. Oh, I got a lot of woods, but the cedars. They're saying to buy wood strictly from sawmills. Believe it or not, a lot of the wood you buy at the sawmills is a lot cheaper than what's in the store, especially now. Prices of wood has just gone through the roof. So, like I told you in the other videos that I plan to cut down, I've got some big cedars out there that they gotta be 1.5 foot round, or 2 foot, round, that I'm going to take down, and I want to take to the mill and have them cut them up, mill it up. Cedars around here for us is like having gasoline in a fire. They catch fire fast, but they don't rot like regular wood. So that's the natural. They tell you to use cedar from a sawmill and buy up their stuff, buy their slats, their leftovers. I seen here on Craigslist that there's a guy that cuts up cedar, and he sells the slats, the top layers, cheap. It's like $20 for a large bundle, and that sounds pretty good to me. Using regular cedar for your garden beds. I mean, what else can you be more perfect? For growing. So that is a good one to use, the cedar trees off properties. Another one people are using, and let's see here, make sure I covered out not to use, which I believe I did. We got do not use telephone poles, do not use railroad ties, do not use treated lumber. Watch the cedars that you buy in the stores to make sure they don't have chemicals in them, and check the labels and do your research. What to use is the cedars from people's properties or at sawmills, and get them sawmilled down. Another thing they talked about was people are now using the metal from metal buildings. The rib, like my metal building I got over there in my garage. Metal from that. That stuff is all perfect. And as long as the metal that you got has not been laying on the ground and has had oily substances or chemicals laying on it, or it was used to hold an area of chemicals inside that building. Believe it or not, these chemicals and oils do absorb in the metal. Okay, they do. So you be very careful what you get. You can get a lot of barnwood material and stuff like that are perfect. Even my building is perfect to use. There's no chemicals in it. Another thing they brought up was using cinder blocks. They said the only thing with cinder blocks is it's very porous, and I'm using cinder blocks. They said do not use cinder blocks that have paint on them. If you do, make sure you put the paint out so the paint does not get inside the bed of your garden, and make sure it's never had oil spilled on it, which you can really tell when something's stained like that. Any kind of chemicals you can find. If you smell something in a cinder block, not to use it. So anything to do with those concrete things like that. Let's see, I got a little list here, and I believe I covered everything. So the big one to build, number one I seen was to use your raw cedar trees that you can get processed or buy at sawmills. There are a lot of sawmills running. I know in Oklahoma there's many of them. Even private people have their own sawmills. Maybe you can buy their scraps, something like that. Just do some research, put in a want ad, or look for it. So cedar's number one good one. Metal buildings, the old scraps, or buy new, whatever you want to do. Cinder blocks is another good one. Trying to think of what else we can use. I think that's it for right now. I guess that's probably about it. I wanted this to make a good video. It's growing time for everybody, but everybody's got to be careful where you put your soil, what you're doing with your soils. And so that's about it, guys. I just wanted to be helpful on that note with what to use and what not to use. And we're all trying to grow healthy, and you definitely don't want to use something that's not healthy for you in your own garden. Heck, some of that stuff could kill you, you know. All right, guys, we're going to go. Hopefully this end up being short. I don't think so. Sounds like maybe about 10 minutes. Guys, have a great day. And be safe, garden safe. And let's have fun this year growing gardens, huh? Or growing our foods. Thanks. You all have a great day.